Hello, my name is Arando Holmes. I'm here to show you how to make a garden bucket. It has a water reservoir so that you won't have to water the bucket, but once every 2 to 3 and sometimes up to 4 weeks. First we start with a 2-gallon bucket, a 1-quart container, which you can get from your usual Chinese carryout for wonton soup or different fast food stores, a 6-gallon or a 5-gallon bucket, a 24-inch piece of PVC. We'll have to have some coarse stone and some soil. We start by drawing a circle the size of the top of the container on the top of the 2-gallon bucket. The hole needs to be smaller so that this container will not fall through. I usually just etch it in about an 1/8 inch more all the way around so that I will cut a slightly smaller circumference hole. But before you cut the hole, you will need to put some drain back holes in it so that if the roots get too long, they can go down into the water reservoir, it won't be diverted, and it just works out better that way. I put holes with my trusty drill. Holes around the periphery. Then put a secondary group of holes inner ring. So then you have this. Next we will cut out the center for this. A simple razor knife will work. Just be careful. And take your time. Check your fit. So you make sure this does not come out. Take it back out. You have to remove the handle. This is going to become a water wick. It will be filled with soil, but it has to have water to be able to enter. So you must cut slots into it. Like so. So you have little slots. Water can go into it. The soil will not fall out of it. Put it in there. So there we have this section completed. Now you need your 5 or 6-gallon bucket. The height of this is approximately 9.5 inches. We will need a hole. I usually put them right underneath the handle at 8.5 inches, so you get 1 inch lower than the top of your inner bucket. We do the same on the other side. Eight and a half inches. So the water level will never be over the top of the inner bucket. This will also allow any water that enters the soil from rain or anything else from flooding the roots and the soil. So it can never go any higher. This bucket goes inside this bucket. Very simple. Then you have the water fill tube. I usually put this on one side, away from the handle, so that if you want to carry it, it doesn't hit. Then we take our coarse stone and put it around the gap between the two buckets. This also serves to support this tube. Keeps the soil from going down into the overflow holes and blocking them up. All this relatively inexpensive materials. Try to make sure your tube is perfectly straight, just for the point of aesthetics. I make sure there are no stones in the clear inner cup of the water wick, and it is assembled. Take a couple handfuls of soil, putting it directly into the cup. That way you make sure it's certainly filled and no gaps are in it. And the rest of your soil can be poured in. And you are ready to plant. All you have to do now is take a hose, stick it in here, fill it with water, so it overflows out of here. Your bucket's good for at least about 2 weeks in the hot summer, 3 weeks almost all the rest of the time. Thank you very much.